I'm cleaning my makeup brushes, and let's talk a little bit about mental health. It is not easy trying to function when you have depression, anxiety, and bipolar. When it comes to mental health, as some of you may know, I don't know if you've watched my previous videos. Excuse my voice because it is growing. I don't know what's going on. The seasons are changing in Georgia. If you're in Georgia, you know it's hot. The mornings have been really cool, which is nice. But then it gets real scorching hot in the middle of the day. So, yeah, whatever. But we're talking a little bit about mental health today. Like I was saying, if you know, then some of y'all know. Most of my videos, I mention it. Y'all know that I struggle with depression. Well, at one point, it was severe depression, severe anxiety, and bipolar. I have been medically diagnosed. I do take medication for this daily. So, I mean, I'm not a professional or anything like that. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. If you think you have some signs and symptoms, go and seek professional help. That's what I did. If you got insurance. If you don't have insurance, I'm going to put y'all in on something called... I'm being trifling right now because I'm going to say I'm going to put y'all in. I can't remember. But there's something called Open Path. Now, it's a $60 join fee. And you can find a therapist where you can pay between, I think, $20 to $30 up to $100 per session. As you guys know, most therapy sessions can run you between $100 to $200 if your insurance doesn't cover it. My insurance does not cover it. I don't know how I found out about Open Path, but I stumbled upon it because prior to Open Path, I had tried BetterHelp, which I didn't care for my therapist on BetterHelp. Not saying that BetterHelp is not good. It is expensive though. If you don't have an extra $250 per month, BetterHelp is probably not for you because it is expensive. I've also tried Cerebral. I know they were having some issues, but they were pretty good. I really liked my therapist that I had on Cerebral. I've been going to therapy now for, dang. I've had a therapist because I also had postpartum depression with both. I didn't know I had postpartum with my son, but with my daughter, I was in a much better, I wouldn't say necessarily mental state, but financially, because I was married at the time, I had TRICARE, so I had really good insurance. So I was in a space where I was able to get the help that I needed, whether it was on the military base or it was off, all of that was covered. So I've been going to therapy for roughly about 8-9 years now. It was inconsistent for a little bit in the beginning because I didn't know what was going on. I was testing out different medications. My medications first came from my actual doctor who I was telling about my issues. I've been on citrulline, which is like the generic version of Zoloft. I started with like 25 milligrams. I'm at 50 milligrams now. I was taking lamotrigine for the bipolar, especially helping me with sleep, but now I don't need it, so I don't take it. That is prescribed by my doctor. Like I said, everything that I have, I am medically diagnosed. I have went to my doctor. I've been putting in the work because it is not easy trying to function when you have depression, anxiety, and bipolar. It is something that can be genetics. I did have family that suffered from depression severely. I had family that suffered from bipolar, like direct bloodlines that had bipolar and was even medically diagnosed with schizophrenia. So once I learned that, I think I learned about that in my 20s, which made me click. I was like, well, let me go get myself checked out because there has been some things that have been off, and I think I really have been suffering from it since my high school years, for real. Maybe even back to middle school, thinking about the behaviors and some of the traits that I had and all of that stuff. I definitely think I dealt with all three of them, since high school, for real. It just went undiagnosed. I say that especially because I had some traumas in my high school years. Just the way I handled things, the significant weight gain after high school, the relationships, all types of stuff. I know for sure that it had to be something. Looking back, how they say hindsight is always 2020. So looking back 2020, looking back with that 2020 vision, I can see clearly like some of the things that I used to do, some of the impulsiveness. It definitely stemmed from mental illness. It is a real thing. Some people say, oh, you can just, it's not a real thing. It's whatever you focus. No, like some days I have had a lot of days where I could not get out of, like literally didn't want to get out of bed. I could stay in the bed from literally sun up to sundown. I've had many of those days. I do experience manic episodes. Now, thankfully, I can control them a lot better. Basically, manic episodes, you can't really stop them. They're going to come, but you can learn to cope and handle them differently, handle them better. You can figure out what your triggers are. Like, I know when it's coming. I was having them very often. Probably at least once a month at one point. They come about every 3 months sometimes. It depends on my stressors, my stress levels, and all of that stuff, which is why if you do suffer from mental health issues, you should definitely seek that professional help via your doctor, via your therapist. At one point I was meeting with my therapist weekly because I had a lot of things to get through. And I don't know why this is making me emotional, but it is. Just to even think about it, it's a lot. Let's pause for a second. I don't know why that I felt like that was coming up. Like, you know how you can just feel stuff. And I didn't want to mess up my makeup. So, recoup. If you do have makeup on and you do feel an emotional moment coming, Q-tips are your best friend. You just dab them right here in your eyes, and yeah, they absorb everything. Anyways, so let's just talk about some ways to cope when you are dealing with mental illness. My biggest way to cope is through working out. So I'm gonna tie this into my fitness goals, my fitness journey, and all of that fun stuff. Because when it comes to working out, that is my way of decompressing, de-stressing, all of the things. Like, it is my outlet. Some people may not, lifting weights, lifting heavy is my outlet. Some people may have different outlets, but working out, is definitely an outlet, especially when it comes to heavier lifting days. Those are my days that I can really zone in and completely X out everybody and everything for that hour or 2 hours. Yeah, some days it's very easy to spend 2 hours in the gym. I didn't understand it years ago. Now I get it. When you're doing strength training, you have to take your rest in between. It takes hours, okay? So people can't be in the gym for like 3 or 4 hours. It is easy if you're training. Not for cardio though. That don't take no hours. That take 10 minutes to die, okay? 10 minutes. Anyways. But working out has definitely been a helper when it came to dealing with mental illness, especially when it comes to when I'm triggered. The ways that I know when I am triggered and a manic episode is coming, I usually tend to overeat. When I feel myself getting ridiculously, like, savagely hungry, but yet not satisfied. Like, I can eat foods that I'm craving, and I just nothing, I'm just like, I get full or whatever, but I'm just like, this is not satisfying at all. That's when I started realizing, oh, you're probably about to go into a manic episode. That's one of my triggers. Another one of my triggers is when I find myself being very impulsive and start to, like, buy stuff. I'm on a budget. I'm balling on a budget. I can't be out here buying anything. Whenever I feel like I'm very impulsive and like, okay, let me go ahead and buy this or book this trip or do anything off of impulse, I know, okay, I'm probably, something is triggering, some wheels are turning, something is happening, because I get on edge, like, before any of these like, when I get triggered, I'm not sure yet of which pushes me into these triggers. Well, I kind of know. Let's go back. What usually pushes me into these triggers is when everything goes left, some way. What I've realized with dealing with the mental illnesses is I have to be on a schedule. I have to be in a routine. So if I get knocked off that routine at all, things can just take a turn for the worse. Usually when I get knocked off that routine is when I start going into a manic episode, usually. Something else may trigger it as well, but mainly whenever my routine is knocked out of control or something happens, it just, yeah. Like for instance, when I started working basically a third job. Yes, you heard me right, a third job. I wasn't able to get in certain workouts, and when I'm not able to at least get workouts in Monday through Friday, that triggers me. I started getting anxiety because, especially like the last time I had a manic episode, like, seeing the scale move up in weight, which is why I don't get on the scale so often, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. I don't do it very often. Because I get like extreme anxiety from it. Like when I got on the scale and I saw it had moved up like 6 pounds, I literally started like to hyperventilate and to go into this catastrophic thinking of, oh my God, I'm just gonna get bigger and bigger. Nothing's ever gonna work. This diet ain't working. This workout regimen ain't working. Like when I say I go into full blown panic mode, it is like my thoughts are crazy. Everything is like out of order. Especially with different, which is why everything I do, I've realized like I have to have order in everything that I do. I can't function in chaos. Like sometimes there is organized chaos, but I have to have some level of structure, some level of schedules, some level of routine in every single thing that I do. That's why, like, as a manager, I'm the manager that like set schedules. You tell me that you can work a certain time, we gonna put you that time forever until you tell me that you can't work that time. I'm not one of those managers that can do schedules all over the place all the time. I can't function like that. My schedule is not like that. I don't want nobody else dealing with all that craziness. You tell me what you can work, and that's what you working. So like I said, everything has to be structured, which is why I know I have to go back to the simple meal plans. Because when it comes to eating, my eating habits, once I go bite into that cookie and I've been eating good, that's it. Like, I can't just go, I have to go cold turkey. I'm one of the people that have to go cold turkey, cut everything out. Because if I slowly try to and allow myself a treat, that treat turns into 3 treats. Let's just be honest. Like, I can't buy the certain things. If it's in my house, I'm going to eat it. So I don't buy snacks and all that stuff, unless it's for like the kids. Certain things they eat, I don't eat. So if I know it's certain snacks that they like, I'll buy them certain things. But most of the time I try to buy them fruits. Like I'll keep bananas, I'll keep some oranges, or I'll keep like grapes in the refrigerator, as opposed to buying like fruit snacks and all that stuff. Cause I'm like, why buy fruit snacks when you can buy the actual fruit? Like, yeah, sometimes they can have their little snack foods, but overall I like to give them full dinners. And breakfast, sometimes some mornings I'm feeling real spiffy, and they'll get like fresh homemade pancakes. My daughter likes grits, so sometimes I'll make her some like a fresh batch of grits, and like she'll eat on that each day. So that's kind of like her breakfast meal prep. They usually, my daughter was starting to drink sodas, but we're pulling that back out as well. But they usually will choose water over anything else. So definitely as a parent, you have control of what your kids eat. So I'm trying to, for real, lead by example. So if I'm eating healthy, why are my kids not eating healthy? So that's another thing when it comes to, I'm getting off topic, but that's another thing when it comes to like the structure and the routine. That's why I had to stop. I'm like, I started working this third job, but I was like, nope, it's not even worth my sanity. Yes, I may need the extra money per month, but is it worth your sanity? And no, it's not worth my sanity, because I feel like at nights, my kids are now involved in baseball and dance and stuff, so they have practices. But at night, I feel like I really need to be home. First of all, because I get up at 4 o'clock or 4:30 to go work out. I need to have my butt in the bed by 9:30, not on somebody's job. Second of all, the biggest thing is I like to prepare dinner. I like cooking. That's one of my outlets when it comes to stress relief. When I get to cook, I enjoy cooking to the fullest. Like, when I'm in the kitchen, I'm in the zone. So for me to be able to do that nightly, that's one of the type of things that I have to keep in my routine. If that gets knocked off like it has been for the past month or so, almost 2 months, everything goes. Like, I've been eating out a lot, spending money that I shouldn't be spending on food, buying the food that I shouldn't be eating. When I cook at home, I can control what goes in it, how much fat, how much protein. I can control the ingredients 100%. Like, I can control everything. And it gave me anxiety to have to go to work and then the kids are eating McDonald's for dinner, Taco Bell for dinner, because y'all know men don't really cook that much and they be with their dad. So, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there today. But if y'all don't know, I'm cleaning my makeup brushes too. But yeah, so that's another thing. I had to prioritize my children over money. Always. And I feel like I'm kind of, one thing I've noticed too as well, even if you're not religious, I wouldn't consider myself religious, but if I start veering away from daily gratitude, daily prayer, journaling on a regular basis, things start going real left too, really quickly. Because I almost feel like the prayer and the daily gratitude is setting the foundation. I do that first thing in the morning before I put on my workout clothes and all of that stuff. I'll basically sit with God for a minute. I'm like, I'll be doing all this other stuff. I can give God 5 minutes out of my day to do some prayer. I use the Bible app. And they have like daily prayers, and I just stick with that. I mean, because you start from somewhere. So mine starts with the daily prayer, and then throughout the morning, I'll make sure I get my daily gratitude done. Those are two essential things that kind of keep me grounded, keep me focused. I started with God because, of course, you see God first and everything else will fall in place. Then I finish it with gratitude, being thankful. And then, I don't know if you guys know, y'all know I love Rachel Hollis. I do the Start Today journal. So you list 5 things that you are grateful for, and you put down 10 dreams that you made happen. So it's speaking like it's in the future. So you write down 10 things that you like, the biggest dreams you can think of that you made happen, and you do that every single day, because now you're building up that mental stability, capacity, whatever it is, the manifestation, whatever you want to call it. You're basically setting the tone for what you're wanting to achieve. And if you do that in the beginning of the day, it kind of keeps the wheels turning every single day, because now you know what your goals are when your day is first starting, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. But anyway, so I just wanted to come in and touch on a little bit of mental health. I know this video was supposed to be out on Sunday, but I had to work that third job. I put in my 2 weeks notice. So in 2 more weeks, I'll have my nights and my weekends back. But that's a different topic for a different day when it comes to all that work stuff. I probably do all that stuff on my other channel. But this channel is going to be dedicated to mental health and weight loss. I am going harder in the gym. I've started a new training regimen. It is very heavily CrossFit type training, which I miss a lot. CrossFit is expensive. So right now we doing crunch and YMCA. We'll go back to CrossFit when my financial obligations get squared away. So that will be back when it comes to when y'all see my CrossFit videos again, CrossFit competitions. Y'all know I love all that stuff. But for right now, I'm doing it on my own. I use the First Forum app, which is like $13 a month. There you can choose from beginner, intermediate, and advanced type workout plans, and they give you a daily workout. So I love it. Like I said, it's a part of a routine. I have to have a routine. I have to have a schedule. So I'm not trying to make this video too long, but I wanted to touch in on that. I hope y'all have a great and fantastic, I think I'm gonna post this on Tuesday. Hopefully y'all had a marvelous, amazing weekend, and I will talk to y'all next week.